I know everybody a go like. I know everybody a go like. Success don't come overnight. No matter know a substance over hype. Do it for the love, me not do it for the life.
What's good? Welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real. I'm live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Keeping It Real is your go-to show for personal and professional development, diving deep into fitness, public speaking, networking, and sometimes real estate. I appreciate you joining me this evening. Whether live or on the replay, if you are watching live, say hello in the comments. Let's connect. This isn't just a show. It's the start of a growing community. Together, we can build a space where like-minded individuals can connect, learn, and grow personally and professionally. What's next in your personal or professional journey? Comment, and let's kick this journey off together. Hello, I'm Jason Harris, and I'm unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston, but maybe not this far south. Also known as Coach FitPro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. I'm the coach who talks the talk and walks the walk. I've been there, done that, and now I empower real estate professionals and entrepreneurs to take control of their nutrition and fitness without feeling overwhelmed by keeping it simple, keeping it moving, and keeping it real. Welcome to the weekly live broadcast, Keeping It Real. All right. I want to start off today with a rant. You know what blows my mind? I've had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches more times than I can count. I've had peanut butter on toast. I've had jelly on toast. But somehow I've never had a toasted PB&J. Like, how did this slip through the cracks of my life? I've basically been eating the components separately and together my whole life. But I never connected the dots. That maybe, just maybe, slapping it all on toasted bread would unlock a whole new level of greatness. It feels like I've been living in the minor leagues, and toasted PB&J is the big leagues. And I'm over here, late to the game, wondering what other obvious life-changing combos I've been sleeping on. Let me know if you've ever had a toasted PB&J before, or if you feel the way I feel. Let me know. All right, on to the show. Today, we're starting with the Core 4 of Networking segment. After that, Fitness Success, the 4 Pillars of Achievement. Then we'll get into From Stage Fright to Spotlight, the public speaking segment of the show. And then we'll finish up with the Real Estate Roundup segment. Let's get started. All right. The Core 4 of Networking. That's what I want. Networking is an essential skill in both business and personal development. In the Core 4 of Networking segment, I break down the key practices for building strong, lasting relationships. Do you know about the Core 4 of Networking? Can you tell me what they are? If they weren't up here on the screen? Well, here's a short clip that'll get you up to speed on what the Core 4 of Networking are. What's up? I'm here with Al to give you guys another networking tip. We've given you 3 so far, and today we're going to give you a 4th. But before we do, let's recap. What's the first thing they got to do, Al?
Show up.
You got to be present and accounted for. What's the second thing?
Be yourself.
You be you, your authentic self, because nobody likes fake people. Not a good look. What's number 3?
Pay attention.
You got to do some active listening. You got to know what's going on. You don't want to stare into somebody's eyes and nod your head thinking about what you got to say next. Pay attention. And now that the recap's done, I think the 4th one's the most important. What do you think, Al?
Oh yeah, there's no point in doing all 3 if you don't do the 4th.
That's right. So why is the 4th so important now?
Because the fortune's in the FU.
What do you mean?
Fortune's in the follow-up.
Ah, that's right, follow up. Don't have a conversation with somebody, take their business card, and then do nothing. Follow up. Speaking of following up, if you guys would like to hear more networking tips from Al and myself, comment more or yes please underneath this video. And Al, what are we going to do after they make that comment?
Follow up.
Haha, that's right. See you guys later. There I am. I'll be breaking down the core 4 1 week at a time. Week 1, show up. Why simply being present can open doors to success. Week 2, be yourself. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. Week 3, pay attention. The importance of active listening and being fully engaged with others. Week 4, follow up. How to maintain and grow relationships beyond the first meeting. What's the most significant networking hurdle you faced, and how'd you tackle it? Or are you still working on it? Let me know. Please share your biggest networking challenge or challenges and how you have addressed them, or if you're still addressing them, in the comments. In addition to exploring the core 4 of networking, this segment will also showcase local members of the networking organizations I'm affiliated with, as well as other businesses and professionals in my network. I'll also provide insights on local networking events that I attend. Today's core 4 focus, pay attention, because in a world full of noise, the quietest flex in the room is being fully present. People aren't just craving information, they're starving for attention. And if you want to build real trust in business, you don't have to be the loudest, just the most locked in. Presence is profitable. Say that again. Presence is profitable. Most people don't network, they perform. They're waiting for their turn to talk, already thinking of their next pitch. But if you're the one who's actually listening, the one who's all in, eyes up, distractions down, you win. Not with flash, but with focus. Want to become memorable? Start by being fully mentally present, because no one forgets the person who truly heard them. I got a couple action steps here for you. First one, listen with your face. Let me give you an example. Let me tell you what I'm talking about here. So you're in a conversation at a networking breakfast, let's say. The other person is opening up about a challenge in their business. Most people nod vaguely, while checking the room, for someone more important, I guess, right? You make direct eye contact. Your phone stays pocketed and your body is squared up. You're not just hearing, you're with them. That's rare. That's respect. That's influence. Try that. That's first action step. Let me give you action step number 2. Write down what matters, then use it. I guess it's kind of 2 steps, right? Let me tell you what I'm talking about here. So, after a meeting or a conversation, jot down one detail they mentioned. A kid's name, a trip they were planning, a challenge they're facing, something, right? Then when you follow up, which you should be doing, right? Following up, drop it in. Hey, Melissa, hope your daughter crushed her swim meet last weekend. That one line, it says, I was paying attention, and that builds instant rapport. Be honest. When was the last time you felt truly listened to? What did that person do that stood out? Comment, and let's break down the art of real connection. Here's the truth. Attention is currency. That's another good one. Attention is currency, and most people are broke. You want to build a powerful network? Be the person who remembers names, notices details, and listens like it matters, because it does. Next Monday is week 4, so the topic will be follow up. How to maintain and grow relationships beyond the first meeting. Until then, show up, be yourself, pay attention, and most of all, follow up and keep building the relationships that move your business forward. If you got a story to share and want to be a guest on the show, reach out. I'd love to have you on. And if you catch me at a networking event, don't hesitate to pull me aside and let's make some on-camera magic happen. All right. Next up, fitness success. Wrong one. Fitness success. There we go. All right. The 4 pillars of achievement. Each week, I alone or with a guest will break down a specific pillar to help you build a balanced, sustainable fitness routine. Week 1, Pillar 1, nutrition habits. Master your nutrition and fuel your body for success. Week 2, Pillar 2, stress management. Practical strategies for managing life's inevitable stressors. Then you got week 3, physical activity. Tips to stay active and energized no matter your fitness level. And then week 4 is all about Pillar 4, recovery measures. Recovery is key. Learn the best ways to rest, recharge, and avoid burnout both in and out of the gym. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to break down Pillar 3, physical activity. Because you don't need to be a bodybuilder to stay energized, focused, and high performing. You just need the right movement in your day to keep your mind sharp, your stress low, and your body in the game. Let's talk about what that really looks like, especially when your calendar is slammed and you're living out of your car between showings or meetings. Movement isn't optional, it's oxygen for high performance. But here's the good news. You don't need a gym. You don't need 90 minutes. And you definitely don't need 6-pack abs to win. They're nice though, but you don't need them to win. You just need momentum and consistency. Let's get into 2 simple strategies that can help busy pros move more, feel better, and perform like a machine, even on the craziest days. All right, so first action step. The 3-minute reset rule. And here's what I'm talking about. Set a timer 2 to 3 times per day and take just 3 minutes to move. Body weight squats, push-ups on your desk, a quick walk around the building, up or down stairs, or mobility drills between appointments. Something like that. Let me give you an example. Jasmine, an entrepreneur who owns a staging company on the South Shore, right? Found herself dragging between site visits and client consultations. Instead of reaching for another coffee, she now does 20 bodyweight squats and stretches her hips for 3 minutes before driving to her next appointment. She said, "It sounds silly, but those 3 minutes fire me up and keep me focused. I'm less achy, more alert, and honestly, I feel like I'm showing up stronger to every conversation." Makes a big difference. So what's your go-to quick move when you need an energy boost? No, I'm not talking about a Red Bull or a Monster, okay? Or a Rockstar. Or are you still powering through with a Red Bull and a prayer? Let me know. All right, second action step. Make activity a non-negotiable meeting. Let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Book your physical activity like a meeting. That's all. Block it off on your calendar, even if it's just a 15-minute walk at lunch or walking calls, something. Just put it on your calendar, block it off. Let me give you an example. Nicole, a solopreneur, okay, who runs a virtual design firm. She used to skip workouts because there's no time. Now she blocks off 12:15 to 12:30 every weekday for a walk around the block while listening to mindset podcasts. Check it out, she's multitasking still. She's sharper, more creative, and said, "My walking break gives me better ideas than my laptop ever would, or ever could, really." Awesome. So what time of the day could you claim back for movement? Morning? Midday? Let's map it out in the comments. Let's go. All right, listen. Physical activity isn't about chasing a physique. It's about chasing your full potential. Your body doesn't just carry you to closings and client meetings. It carries your vision, your confidence, your momentum. So take the meeting with yourself, get that blood flowing, and remember, you don't need perfection. You need motion. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it moving, and above all else, keep it real, especially when it comes to your fitness. That wraps up today's fitness success segment. Next Monday is week 4, so we'll be discussing Pillar 4, recovery measures. Recovery is key. Learn the best ways to rest, recharge, and avoid burnout both in and out of the gym. Want to join the conversation as a guest or have your questions answered on the next episode? Just drop a comment below with your question. Yes, even if you're watching the replay. Let us know and we will make it happen. All right, next up is From Stage Fright to Spotlight. From Stage Fright to Spotlight, our comprehensive public speaking segment designed to help you master this crucial skill. Whether you're speaking to a large audience or just in front of a small group, this segment of the show will give you the tools you need to shed the stage fright and step confidently into the spotlight. This segment of the show will also have guest appearances from some of my fellow Toastmasters. If you don't know what Toastmasters is, I'm going to tell you now. Toastmasters International is a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. I belong to the Spirited Speakers Club out of Middleborough, Massachusetts, and we currently meet virtually on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of every month. Stay tuned because at the end of this segment, I'll show you how you can visit my next virtual Toastmaster meeting. All right, last week I showed you how to speak smarter on the spot, and I told you that I was going to re-air the segment about the table topics part of a Toastmaster meeting. So on today's From Stage Fright to Spotlight segment, that's what I'm going to do. In this video that I have queued up, I have special guests and Toastmaster members of mine, Suzanne and Sean, all right, with me, and then we'll be putting our impromptu speaking skills to the test by having some fun with the table topics part of a Toastmaster meeting. Suzanne will break down the table topics role, what it is, why it matters, and how it can sharpen your ability to think and speak on the fly. And after that, well, Sean and I are stepping into the hot seat for a round of table topics live. All right, no scripts, no safety net, just pure off-the-cuff fun. Show you how table topics is done. All right, please stand by while I cue up this video, and I'll see you at the back end. We'll wait for Sean to come in. But how you doing this evening, Suzanne?
I'm doing great, Jason. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. And I know we're waiting for Sean, but could you please introduce yourself and let the audience know who you are and what it is that you do?
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, I've been in Toastmasters for a number of years. I think since 2012, actually, and I've never looked back. I'm still a member. I still love it. I am a 4th grade teacher. I have used my Toastmaster skills in many capacities, in meetings, even with family, and it really has helped me immensely. So I'm looking forward to share my experience tonight with your audience and to have a little fun with table topics.
Awesome. And then let's see here. Let me see if I can get Sean, at least on audio. See if we can get him here. Hey, Sean, you there at least with the audio?
I will be with you in just a minute. I'm switching to my computer.
You go right ahead, and what I'll do is I'll just have Suzanne explain table talks and whatnot. So, okay, Suzanne is going to talk about her experience with the role of table topics and also explain what the role is all about. After that, when Sean gets here shortly, Sean and I are going to be put to the test, and we're going to participate in table topics live with no safety net. And you'll know what that means in a second when Suzanne talks about what the table topics are. So take it away, Suzanne.
All right. Thank you, Jason. So table topics is a segment of a Toastmaster meeting, and it's kind of like a game. And how it works is that people who volunteer are given a question that they have no idea what the question is, and they have 1 to 2 minutes to answer the question. Now, when I first joined Toastmasters, I hated table topics, hated it. I never wanted to answer questions. I never volunteered. It was completely intimidating to me because I couldn't even think about what I was going to say. And one day I just figured, well, it's only 1 minute. It's 1 to 2 minutes. You can say anything for 1 to 2 minutes, right? So finally, one day I raised my hand to volunteer for table topics. I got the question. I don't remember what the question was. All I remember is I think I had 11 ums and I barely made it to 30 seconds. It was terrible. However, since then, I continued to, that first time was terrible, but once I got that under my belt, I was able to volunteer in the future meetings, and I got a little bit better. And I learned from watching my fellow Toastmasters that there are some strategies you can use for answering questions when they're thrown at you and you don't know what to say. A couple of those strategies I'm going to share. And
I was going to ask you, Suzanne, what are some of those
probably
strategies?
Use them yourself, but I'll share them with the audience. One of the strategies that a lot of Toastmasters will use when they get a question that they're not expecting is they'll say something like, wow, that's a great question. And they'll often repeat the question like, wow, what is my favorite color? That's such a great question. Thank you for asking. They'll thank the question asker. Thank you for asking that great question. So these kinds of strategies will buy you some time to think about a response. So that's one strategy that I've noticed a lot of experienced table topics answerers will use.
So repeat the question to the question.
The table topics
Okay.
master. Repeat the question. Thank you for that question. And then say, my favorite color. I'd never thought about my favorite color before. That's such an interesting question. And that gives you time to think about, what am I going to say? Gives you a little thinking time. The other strategy that I've noticed some experienced table topics folks will use is the pivot. And you see this a lot in political debates. We saw it most recently. If you watch the political debate, you might be asked a question and you don't even answer it. You just find a way to talk about something somewhat related to the topic, but the goal is to find a way to speak for 1 minute. And I've noticed that some of the experienced speakers will pivot on the question, and that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly acceptable because the goal is to speak for 1 minute. So maybe tonight we'll see some pivoting. Maybe we'll see some thanking and repeating from when I share my table topics questions tonight with both of you. Maybe not. It's not a requirement, but it's definitely a strategy. I've seen Sean use these strategies before, and it's a lot of fun. It's really just meant to be fun. And I also wanted to share that in terms of my experience with Toastmasters, whenever I was asked to speak or run a meeting or give a presentation in the past before I joined Toastmasters, I would ask myself or ask the person, like, why me? Do I have to? Really? Whereas now that I have the experience and I've had some exercises and opportunities to practice speaking with an audience, and the question I ask is, well, how much time do I have? So it's no longer scary. I have strategies for organizing. I have strategies for thinking about what my point is. And there's lots and lots of tools that are given to you as part of the Toastmaster meeting and club.
Yeah, one of the, for table topics, as far as stalling is concerned, to think. I love that one. Re-asking the question to the table topics master to think. I think I might use that one this evening. I don't know. But I think maybe since Sean hasn't been able to speak yet, I mean, do you have anything to say about table topics at all before Suzanne puts us on the spot?
Yeah, I was just going to say I love table topics. It's a great time to just get those impromptu skills. I'm sure Suzanne mentioned this, but again, for me, I always think about table topics as that awkward moment in a business meeting where your boss points at you and asks you a question and you're like, oh no, let me hide. Table topics, once you've done it long enough, you will overcome that fear of ever being called on in a meeting or in any environment to ask a random question. That is the beauty of table topics. And I love that Suzanne already preferenced some strategies with table topics. One of my favorites is just to think of random stories that could fit into any question. So if you ask me, what's my favorite color? It's a one-word answer, but with table topics, we always want to know why. So you might talk about a story that relates to something from your childhood. Well, that same story might not just apply to what your favorite color is, but could also apply to a question like, hey, tell me a story from your childhood, or tell me about your favorite memory with a parent. So you can use the same stories in multiple situations. So little pro tip there.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Well, I think, are we ready? Are we ready? I mean, it's table topics. So, I mean, you can only be as ready as you can be ready, right? So
You're ready up to the point that after you hear the question.
Right. So who wants to go first? You want to go first, Sean? Guess first?
Absolutely. Why not? Go ahead, Suzanne. Hit me with
All
your
right,
question.
Thank you for taking the risk and stepping up. So because it's October, I thought we'd have a fall theme. And I have 3 questions. And you can pick number 1, 2, or 3. And they're loosely related to fall.
All right. Well, give me number 3.
Number three, falling off a log. Something that's so easy. It's like falling off a log. I want to talk about something that either happened to you or you did or you find really simple and easy for yourself. It's almost like falling off a log.
Well, thank you for that question, Suzanne. As again, what is something easy for me that I would consider like it'd be as easy as falling off a log, which again, my children do very often with balancing at the playground or just getting all over the place. Speaking of the fall and one of our favorite activities we just did this weekend was we went pumpkin picking. And that question also made me think of the place that we went has this huge pyramid of haystacks. And my youngest, Dominic, who's there, climbed up to the top and, well, was going to jump all the way off, but then decided better to go one stage lower. But jumped off the haystack into a pile of hay. So that was interesting. But for me, I have always found things with technology very easy, like falling off a log. I was that child or grandchild that my parents or grandparents would get something new, like when we got cable for the first time or when we got any kind of technology, they'd be like, I don't know how to work this. Give it to Sean. He'll figure it out. He'll install it. He'll tell us how it works. And I was always really from a young age excellent at that. Just figuring out, like, when computers first started, was really easy to learn for me and teach to other people. And then, so just, yeah, anything with technology has been really easy. I'm very good at a lot of things that my coworkers are not good at, like things like Excel and PowerPoint, and they struggle with those things. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Give me a good Excel spreadsheet or a PowerPoint to put together, and I am happy I can do that. It's like falling off the log. So thank you, Suzanne, for that amazing question. And back to you.
Wow. Right at 2 minutes. Someone got to time me. That was great.
Timing, by the way, Jason. I forgot about that part. Right.
Yeah. I think just right at the last minute, I figured it.
On the spot. Well, I don't know if the audience noticed, but Sean used every single strategy that we mentioned. He started off with repeating the question and thanking the speaker. He also started right off the bat with a pivot to a family story. So he told the story about doing something with his family that very, very loosely related to the question, and then came all the way back to the actual question, finally at the end, which I think gave him plenty of time to think of a response. So that was brilliant, Sean. Thank you for that awesome response too.
And Suzanne, I don't know if you mentioned this to the audience, but another strategy that I implore a lot is at the beginning, the pause.
Yes, I noticed that too. Yes, I meant to mention that.
So just stopping, giving about 15 to 20 seconds of repeat the question back into your head and loosely think about what's that first thing you're going to start with, and then just let it roll from there. So that's really what the pause can do. It can give you just that extra 15, 20 seconds of time to think, maybe pull out that story that you're going to incorporate into your table topics. But that's another great strategy. You don't have to, the minute the question's been asked, jump right in. No, take your time, but be respectful. 20 seconds is more than enough time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sean. Yeah, that was great. So, and I feel like that's one of the aspects of public speaking that takes the longest to get used to is pausing.
Exactly. Gives people a chance to think. Who wants to time me?
I'm going to be timing you, Jason, but I'm not going to
Awesome.
be so generous and give you the actual time. I'll just time you. You're going to have to see
it's
if
all
we can
good.
stay within that 1 to 2 minutes.
That'll work. All right, Madam Tabletop, it's master. What am I working with
All
here?
right. You have a choice between 1 or 2.
Oh, well, number 1.
Number 1. All right. Number 1. Talk about when you fell for something, but you had no regrets. Something you fell for, but it was a good thing. You're glad you did. No regrets.
Right. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master, for asking me that question. And to repeat the question, what was something that I have fell for that I have no regrets? Something that I fell for that I had no regrets is one time I was standing out front of this ice cream place when I was a kid. And, I was alone. I didn't have my parents with me. Those days when you weren't with your parents back in the day. Kids don't do that these days. But I was out on my bike, and then I ended up it was like a Dairy Queen type place. And I was out front, and it was during the summertime. And I just was sitting there after riding my bike for a little bit. I was just taking a rest. And then I noticed on this table, there was this brand spanking new ice cream just sitting there on the table. And there wasn't really anybody around. And it was just sitting there. It's not melted yet, so there's nothing wrong with it. I looked at it, and then, yes, as a kid, I did eat it. I ate it, and I don't regret it. I don't regret eating it, but I ate it. And there was nothing wrong with it. And after I was finished, I rode off on my bike, off into the distance. But I just didn't regret it. It was actually a happy moment in life, to tell you the truth. And I thought I was falling for a joke. I thought I was falling for a joke because it was just there. It was weird. I don't know why it was there, but it was there. I thought someone was trying to prank me and I was going to fall for a joke, but it didn't happen. So I ate it. I don't regret it. And I just drove away. And that was it. So that is something that I thought I was going to fall for anyway. And then I didn't regret it. So back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Jason. I noticed you employed a couple of strategies, including the pause and the repeating the question and the thank you and the story. I love it.
How'd I do on time?
Jason, you could be the next pro table topics person because 2 minutes on the dot.
Yes. All right.
Nice job. So are you, Sean. That was amazing. Just in case you're wondering what number 2 was, probably the easiest question was about pumpkin spice. Just say that for another time.
Awesome. Thanks.
And you know what? You hear that sometimes and you go, oh, I dodged a bullet on that one because I had no stories for pumpkin spice. It is not something in my repertoire. I'm now going to have to think about that.
I could have ran with hey, but we got what we got tonight, so that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Thanks for playing. I know it was fall and not the sense of the season, so I appreciate you jumping in and having a go. That was fun.
Awesome. Well, no, thank you very much.
And now you can hear me. Wow, that was fun. And maybe a little, just a little nerve-wracking anyway. No, it wasn't too bad. I got to have them on again, and we're going to do another live table topics. Oh, Ann. How's it going, Ann? You're out there again. I appreciate you engaging. If I get some more people to engage, we can, get a little banter going on back and forth. I'm here live, chilling over here at the beach. I'm gonna have to have you over, Ann. You don't know about this beach over here. Anyway, all right. Big thanks to Suzanne and Sean. Big thanks. All right. Thanks for helping us stretch those impromptu muscles. Like I said, we got to have them on again and do it again. Table topics isn't just for Toastmasters. It's a skill that can help you handle unexpected questions, sharpen your communication, and boost your confidence. It's pretty cool. Absolutely. All right, and absolutely, we're gonna have to have a watch party. We're gonna have to talk to some of these networking comrades that we have. You know, get a watch party, get people to engage, have some fun. Right? That's what I'm talking about. This is all about fun, back and forth. All right. So Suzanne, Sean, and I belong to the Spirited Speakers Club of Toastmasters out of Middleborough, Massachusetts. Again, we currently meet virtually on the second and the fourth Wednesdays of every month. The next meeting will be next Wednesday, August 27th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to experience a virtual meeting and see what it's all about, comment Spirited and I'll share the link with you. Don't miss out. Again, comment Spirited and I will share the meeting link with you. When you do log into the meeting, don't be scared. Feel free and sit back and observe from the sidelines. We'll make you feel welcome, but participation is optional. No pressure. Just relax and enjoy the experience. Hope that you attend. Now, let's move on to the final segment for today. The Real Estate Roundup segment. The Real Estate Roundup segment keeps you updated on the latest in the real estate world. Whether you're interested in residential or commercial, this segment has got you covered. I'll invite guest experts on. I need to start doing that. To share insights and discuss the subjects that you want to hear more about. Then again, what would help me is if you would let me know what you would like to hear about. And then I could have them on. All right. Oh, let me get that back to where we were. All right. So, if you didn't already know, I happen to be with Jay Nuss Realty Group. Jay Nuss Realty Group, we are a commercial real estate brokerage and consulting firm out of Braintree, Massachusetts, servicing all of Eastern Massachusetts. We specialize in commercial real estate transactions, including sales and leases. And we also consult on a variety of commercial real estate related matters, including but not limited to nonprofits, religious and otherwise, potentially environmentally compromised properties, and transit-oriented development. Other services include commercial lease audits, and if you or anyone you know owns a commercial property and wants to know its worth on the current market, we can do a commercial broker opinion of value for you. If you or someone you know is in need of a commercial real estate professional, please contact us directly or comment on this video and we'll follow up with you. Residential agents out there, have you ever tried to navigate a commercial lease or sales transaction and you were confused by it, or maybe you got stuck? There are differences and nuances involved. Did I mention that we also work with residential real estate brokers? So if you are a residential agent or broker in need of commercial expertise, please do not hesitate to contact us for assistance. What real estate topics spark your curiosity the most? Residential, commercial, or something entirely different? I'd really appreciate it if you shared your thoughts in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, your input is just as valuable. Your feedback will guide us in creating future content. Keeping it moving. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Ann. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Keeping It Real. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Every week, we'll dive into important topics that will help you grow, with a mix of fun and practical advice, from nutrition habits to real estate, public speaking skills to networking strategies. This show is designed to inspire you, keep it real, and of course, keep it fun. Today, in the Core 4 of Networking segment, we talked about the quietest flex in the room, being fully present. Then in the Fitness Success segment, we talked about how movement isn't optional. It's actually oxygen for high performance. In the Public Speaking segment of the show, From Stage Fright to Spotlight, I re-aired the segment about the table topics part of a Toastmaster meeting, and I invited you to visit my next virtual Toastmaster meeting, which is next week, August 27th. Comment Spirited if you'd like me to send you the meeting link. Then lastly, in the real estate roundup segment, I told you about the services of my commercial real estate brokerage and consulting firm, Jay Nuss Realty Group, and how we love to work with residential agents. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a comment about what you did enjoy. If you didn't like something, let me know that too. All feedback is welcome. If you arrived after we started or missed any details, don't worry. You can always check out the replay. Before we end today's show, I have one last thing to share. Every show will end on a high note with a funny meme or a short, hilarious video to keep you smiling. Please stand by for this week's funny moment. I hope you guys are okay with mixed folk humor. Where are my mixed folks out there? Yeah, watch it. It's quick. It's hilarious.
Say, I found a bad girl. Her name is Faith.
In case you, I gotta play again in case you missed it.
Say, I found a bad girl. Her name is Faith.
That little kid was so confused. He's hilarious. All right, thanks for joining me today. I can't wait to see you for more Keeping It Real. Be sure to leave your comments, share your thoughts, and don't hesitate to get involved. Stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep it real. See you next week on Monday, August 25th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you. See you, Ann.
I know everybody a go like. I know everybody a go like. Success don't come over.